Hey everyone, Cameron from Glance here. Sorry this video is taking a little while. It's just been kind of busy here at the office, closing clients, doing big things. But I wanted to put this video together to show you guys how someone could learn an API so that then after learning it, you could build it into a project or something like that. So hopefully I can share my screen. We just want to share everything and then we'll go from there. Let me get rid of this little. Okay, so I've got this README here. Let me show you the link first. So we'll go right here and then repositories. So I'll include this link in the video as well, but this is going to be kind of the best spot for you to learn. So hey everyone, hope you had fun at SourceCon. Super jealous I didn't get to go. I heard that Glenn mentioned me, so thank you for that. Thanks Nitty for kind of filling me in and keeping me up to date. So I think I said before, but I've been building a kind of simple web app using a few different APIs just so we could kind of maybe hash out what you might want to do if you were going to build something for sourcing and how you might use multiple APIs together. Before I do that, I figured I'd release a video myself working through how an API works so that you can learn how to do the same thing. Since APIs are made by companies, they are all different. So you have to learn kind of how one works and then learn how another works. There's a lot of overlap, but they're not the same. So without further ado, let's jump in. I love the Lucia API, but with the free limits are a little low for my testing. So we're going to demo the full contact API today. The fun app I've been building at night combines the Lucia API to get a candidate's email and cell phone number. Then it takes that data and uses the full contact API to grab all of the candidate's social media, topics they're actively involved in, a general background, kind of a career summary. I would use this to source candidates from LinkedIn or another tool and enrich the data available on them. I intend on using this to enrich lead information for all of Glance's inbound recruiting, but that's kind of for another day. This is just a fun project. So let's get started. First, I want to keep that open. So first thing you should do is navigate to this link right here, which I will sign. Okay, good. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to click this get your free key. It'll take you to sign up. And I've already signed up, but I will sign out so we can see. Yeah, so sign up. You'll just put in an email and a password. I'll move back over to log in, but you do this and then you get to this screen. We just covered create an account, click the free key button. After creating an account, you should be at the dashboard view. There's a line that says try out person API. Click there. Try out person API. Click right here. Okay, so then we get this screen and it comes set already with person API. There's also a company API, but let's just stick with person for now. And then there's endpoints. Email, MD5, Twitter, and phone number. We're going to use email regular right now. MD5 is a hashed version of an email. You really don't need to know why you would use that. Just stick with the regular email. Twitter lets you pass in a Twitter name to get their contact information, and phone number, obviously, you pass in a phone number and it returns the other information. So next, we're going to ensure that you have choose API set to person API, then choose endpoint set to email. And then in your set parameters, we're going to type an email in here. And I think a fun one to do would be Elon Musk. So this curl command down here is building out as you edit. You don't really need to understand that right now, but just see how this is changing down here. So then we'll hit request, and then it returns us kind of all this information. And we can check one of the links by going like this. See, that was a bad link. So then that wasn't a good example, but you get about 90% accuracy. Let's look at Instagram, for example. And I haven't done this before, so this was kind of a live demo. Yeah, so we found Elon Musk Instagram. For someone like him, it's not very hard to find, but if it's someone maybe a little more remote or a little less well-known, it might be hard to find. Let's grab LinkedIn. See if this one works. Profile is not available. Okay, well, probably because services like this found him. There's MySpace, there's Twitter. Let's see if Twitter works. Yeah, so generally I would say that, maybe 80% or so of these links will work really well, and then other times they won't. You just kind of have to go with the flow and see what you can get. Tells you demographics, where they're located. Gender, you definitely don't care about that. But that's some interesting information. Why might that matter? Like I said, I like to learn a little bit more, especially if they're candidates that are hard to reach. You maybe found their LinkedIn, or maybe you found their Twitter or something like that, and you want to build out all of the rest of the places that they could be. That's generally what I would suggest, doing something like this. Let's do another example real quick. Nidhi, I'm using your Twitter, so don't hate me, but we're going to pass this in, and I need to change this to Twitter right here. And there we go. Oh, whoops, what happened? Yep, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so here's some more information. Yeah, whatever it is. You can see that here's her Twitter. But this is kind of a high level understanding of what an API does and how you would learn to use an API. It's not that common to have as nice of a portal to learn as this does, but it is nice when something like this exists. Now, let's talk a little bit about this curl command down here. You might remember a few weeks ago when I taught you how to install a terminal into your computer. So that is iTerm if you're on Mac, or that is command prompt if you're on Windows. What you should do to test this out is grab this curl command down here. I'm going to paste it in there and see how it returned me all of the information that was over here. So what you might want to do is, with a little more experience, you could take this curl command and you could adapt it into something that you would be able to pass in parameters like these. Maybe you would want to find someone's LinkedIn, pass it through Lucia, and then you would want to, next thing you would do is, after passing it through Lucia, you would pass it through full contact, of which at that point you would have kind of a comprehensive profile of someone. You would know kind of what topics they're interested in based on what information you can easily find. And you can kind of, one of my favorite things to do is to chime in on what candidates are interested in. So as a developer myself, if I'm maybe looking at a Java developer's profile, I could go and look at their Twitter and maybe see what they're talking about and contribute. But this was just intended to be a super short video about kind of how you might learn to use an API from a specific company. So hopefully that helps. Excited to put out another video probably Friday, where I'll show the kind of little simple web app I've been working on that combines a few different APIs. I think the final version for the video will have Lucia, HireTall, Full Contact, Kickbox, and Norbert. So maybe 5 or 6 or so, kind of all chained together, so you build a nice comprehensive profile of the candidate and ensure that the information that you get, like we just got for Elon, is actually accurate. You don't get those bounces. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys.